after interacting with some of the characters from the American Communist Party, especially on Twitter, I began to suspect the same thing, that they are Strasserites. I've never watched Infrared or Has. I've only very briefly was exposed to Eddie here on TikTok. When I first got here, I thought TikTok was pretty neat, but I don't really ingest much audio. I don't like all the noise. I tend to do a lot of reading. I use Twitter, it's more silent there, and books. Anyways, I went and I read Midwestern Marx's webpage, and I really saw how they were class reductionist, and you could see that just patsoc vibe just permeating right through, right? And you see it all over, sprinkled on their website. And so that was my first inkling that they were Strasserites. And I went and I purchased Germany Tomorrow by Otto Strasser. If you're not familiar with him, you're just going to have to Google him, or if you're not familiar with Strasserites, that's a whole nother video. Basically, they're the more socialistic end of side of the H Man's party, essentially. And I mean, that's not a great description, but to simplify things, right? And so Strasser wrote a book where, where he spells out a lot of his ideas. And so I read this book. I need to read it again. In order to really come to some conclusions, and I have to read notes. I basically just read it once through to get an idea. And then I also picked up Douglas Reed's Nemesis, and I have not yet read this. I've opened it and read numerous parts of it. I haven't read the whole book because this is from 1940, and it's kind of intimidating for me when I get into this, I want to be ready to just read it one time through and then take my notes and do good research and move on, right? And so I haven't started it yet, but he is a big fan of Strasser. He was a famous British writer and political commentator. He wrote a book on H, slamming him before World War II. And he's like the OG Strasserite. So I picked up this book that he writes about Otto in order to kind of get an idea, and just to see kind of what he's selling. It starts on page 12. It says, "The tale I have to tell is an important one. H has nearly played his part. He long has curdled our blood. He has been like a silly symphony Napoleon with a live bomb in his pocket. It was as if the grotesque child of some comic artist pen had suddenly stepped up out of the screen and advanced upon a spellbound audience, firing real bullets from his gun. A few more melodramatic postures and gestures and harangues, and he will be gone. From the wings already peep the candidates for the secession, chief among them 2 men, Goring, who he calls fat, false, I don't know this word, neuronic, ruthless, cunning, world famous, and Otto Strasser, who he hypes up now as poor, unknown, outlawed, undaunted. So this, tough working class guy. Mm-hmm. And in case anyone's confused, there are no good sides to the National Socialist Party then, or the new one that just launched here in the United States, known as the American Communist Party. Anyways, I suspect you're right, but maybe some others more well-informed can also give us their opinions. Solidarity, comrades.